Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So there was this big OCG event where they announced a bunch of new Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and one of them is actually going to be some new Blue Eyes support, and they have a new boss Blue Eyes fusion monster, and hopefully it's going to be pretty good. If you're excited about new Yu-Gi-Oh cards, drop a like on this video. And also in Battle of Chaos, we're getting another new Monster Reborn support card. Let's go ahead and kick it off with this card first. So this is a new trap card called Monster Rebirth. It's a normal trap card that says, if a monster or monsters was destroyed by battle this turn, send one monster reborn from your hand or deck to your graveyard, then target one monster in either graveyard and special summon it. This is treated as a special summon by Monster Reborn. Are they going to make this an archetype? Because they kind of did the same thing with Mirror Force at one point. They just started giving a lot of support for it. It's going to be interesting to see, considering Monster Reborn is at 1. Does this mean we're going to get more support for Monster Reborn? Does this mean Monster Reborn going to be going to 3? But what's interesting with this, it's just if a monster was destroyed by battle this turn. That can mean you can destroy your opponent's thing and then trap card Monster Reborn their card, and it doesn't even negate the effects, or it doesn't have to be in defense mode like YuGiOh would. So this is a really interesting card. I think it has definitely some potential in maybe slower paced decks, but you still have to destroy it by battle. If it was by battle or by card effect, it has to be this turn. There are a lot of like restrictions to it for like meta play, but at the end of the day, if you're able to dump a Reborn, maybe you can use some other card to add one spell card from the graveyard back to your hand, then you can Reborn again. That would be very interesting to see how some people think of how to use Monster Rebirth. Next up though, we have some, I think this is Wanderies support, but it's called Wanderies now, I guess. Maybe it's a different name for the change. But anyways, Wanderies and the Journey Preparations is a new quick play spell card. It looks like it's also like prismatic. Anyways, quick play spell card that says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. The first part of the effect says banish one winged beast monster from your hand or face up on the field to add one Wanderies monster or field spell from your deck to your hand, and then gain 500 life points. I mean, the 500 life points, like, whatever. But the fact that you can just add any field spell is pretty big for certain archetypes. I'm not sure what other things you can mix in with Winged Beast. It's kind of more, like, conditional to certain archetypes, but being able to add any field spell is actually pretty big, considering, like, Mystic Mind still exists in the TCG. Next up, though, we've got the new Blue Eyes support, and probably why most of you guys clicked on this video. So, starting off, we have, it's talking about like Sedokai, but I just want to know the effects of this. So this is a Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. Here is the artwork on this card. It looks like it's a vehicle. Looks crazy like from the anime. So it's a level 8 light dragon effect monster with 3,000 attack, 0 defense points. And it says you can only use the first and third effects of this card's name each once per turn. You must have Blue Eyes White Dragon on your field or in your graveyard to activate these effects. So the first part is, if a card or cards on the field is destroyed battle by card effect, you can special summon this card from your graveyard if it was there when they destroyed, or hand even if not. The second part is, other cards you control cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. That's pretty good. The third part is, and that's other cards you control, not just monsters. That's actually pretty big. And the third part is, at the start of the damage step, if this card battles, you can target one card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. That's another pretty decent effect, considering sometimes it can be problematic to deal with certain like things that are just over the amount of attack that Blue Eyes had. So that's a decent card. It's just, if anything, is destroyed by battle or by card effect. It just cards on the field, so that includes your opponents too. That's like insane. But you have to have Blue Eyes, so you can't just like throw it into everything. Still a pretty nasty card though. Like, it's good, and it has some like protection as well, and it has some like other forms of like getting rid of problematic cards. I like it though. It's actually looking pretty decent, because usually when they announce like new Blue Eyes, I'm just like, okay, it's just for the fans, just cool artwork, nostalgia, whatever. But next up, we have some more support with the Tyrant of D. So here's the artwork on him. It's got a little like a scepter with the Blue Eyes on it. 1,200 attack, 1,100 defense points. Looks like it's a dark level 4, and it's going to be a spellcaster. It says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is you can send one Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or deck to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. The second part is you can discard one Blue Eyes White Dragon or one card that specifically lists it in its text, then target one Blue Eyes monster in graveyard and special summon it. The third part is if you control Blue Eyes monster, you get to choose the attack targets for your opponent's attacks. And yeah, it's easy to get out Blue Eyes, but I don't really see it being like that insane. But being able to dump it from your deck to allow you to use your other cards, that could be mostly the more useful effect. being kind of like a foolish, essentially, and it gets to special summon the card more so than the other effect of like choosing the targets, because you're just gonna get rolled over. Well, I guess this card's supposed to be protected because you get to choose the attacks, but they'll just pop it via other effects. But the other card, the Jet Dragon, protects so all your other cards cannot be destroyed. So it's interesting. I wish this card like had some extra protection for your other cards, so like this card protected one of your other cards or something like that. Anyways, next up we have Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. So this is the new fusion boss monster, I guess. 3400 attack. Looks like it's going to be a light level 8 and 2900 defense. It requires 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon plus 1 dragon monster. It says must first be either fusion summon or special summon from your extra by tributing a Blue Eyes White Dragon with equipped with a fusion monster. Okay, so it's unaffected by trap effects. The second part is this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. The third part is once per battle, if this card battles at the end of the damage step, you can target 1 trap in your graveyard and set it to your spell and trap zone. Considering it's unaffected by all the trap effects, it means I'm just thinking like Torrential Tribute, it's immune to Torrential, you can Torrential, and that's pretty cool. If it battles, you get to reset like a Torrential Tribute, or anything. It's any trap card. It's not specifically a card that has to list Blue Eyes in it. It seems like it's okay, but again, with trap cards, since you're setting, your opponent's gonna know exactly what you're setting, but considering if you do set like, you know, Imperm or like any other like negation card, it can be okay. The problem that I have with it is it must be tributed using a Blue Eyes equipped with a fusion monster. There's probably some easy way to do it, and it's probably in the new support. So let's check that out, because at the top of my head, I can't think of like how you would actually make it very easy. Next up though, this is Ultimate Fusion. Okay, so this is new quick play. Okay, so quick play spell card says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. First part of it says during the main phase, fusion summon 1 fusion monster that lists Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon as material by shuffling fusion materials listed on it from your hand, field, or graveyard into your deck, including at least 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Then you can destroy face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon used as material from the field. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, at least it's a quick play. That does add a lot more versatility to the card. Next up, we have Operation with the Eyes of Blue, which is a continuous spell card that says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. When you activate this card, you can also reveal a Blue Eyes White Dragon in your hand. If you did special summon 1 monster, any monster from your hand? That's actually pretty big. And the second part is, once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster you control, return that face-up monster to the hand, and then you can apply 1 of these effects based on its original name. Blue Eyes White Dragon is special summon 1 monster from your hand, otherwise special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster from your hand. Okay. Oh, this one lets you special summon any monster from your hand. Oh, that's really insane. So you bounce back, like, this is really weird. I'm just thinking like other like uses of Blue Eyes in other decks, and I think that with this, I know they're supposed to support like Blue Eyes and Dark Magician. Maybe they're gonna try to combine it into one deck, but like I'm just thinking like you just special summon Christia and then you lock your opponent out, or special summon some more obscure monsters that would have some other effect. When special summon you get whatever. It could be interesting. And then they're also just showing off, I guess, the rarity. This is probably gonna be short printed in the TCG, confirmed. I actually really think this new Blue Eyes stuff is like okay. Like it's not like S tier absolutely broken, but the Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, considering if anything is destroyed, you special summon it from the graveyard, and it doesn't even get like banished, or it's not like a once per duel effect. I mean, it's once per turn for the effect to special summon, but then like all your cards are immune to being destroyed via your opponent's card effects. So it definitely has some use, and if it battles, you get a bounce back something. That's like, it's like decent, really. Next up, though, we have new support for more archetypes. All right, so these are the new DD cards, so the different dimension cards. Let's go ahead and kick it off. Actually, I'm gonna kick it off with this because there's just one more card in this one. I don't know what this one is. This is Guardian Chimera. So here's the artwork of what the heck is this new fusion boss monster? 3,300 attack, 3,300 defense points. Guardian Chimera is a level 9 Dark Beast fusion effect. It requires 3 monsters with different names. It must be fusion summoned with using monsters in your hand and field as material, minimum 1 from each. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part is it says if this card is fusion summoned by a spell effect, you can draw cards equal to the number of monsters used material from the hand. If you do, destroy cards your opponent controls equal to the number of monsters used as material from the field. Wow. Second part is your opponent can target this card with card effects while you have polymerization in your graveyard. Okay, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be used with Blue Eyes. Oh wait, it's the holographic rare. I want to say that they announced this as a newer rarity beforehand. It looks really weird. It might just be the lighting here. It looks like red. What the heck is that? I'm pretty sure. I'm going to double check on that because I'm pretty sure it was announced as a newer rarity like a while back ago. Anyways, let's kick it off now with the DD cards. So I'm just here for the effects. I don't care about the lore. So this is DD Griffin, which is a level 4 Dark Fiend Pendulum effect monster, 1200 attack, 1200 defense points, and scales are going to be 1. And so it says you can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part of it is you can target a fiend monster you control. It gains 500 attack for each dark contract spell / trap with different names you control it in your graveyard until the end of this turn. Then destroy this card. The monster effect is you can only use the first and second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part of it is if you control a DD monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. The second part is if this card is pendulum summoned, you get to discard 1 DD or dark contract card to draw 1 card. The third part is if this card is special summoned from the graveyard, you get to add 1 DD card from your deck to your hand, except for a DD Griffin. That's a really good effect, just being able to search out whatever, except for, obviously itself. Next up, though, we have a new, it looks like a boss monster. It's a rank 10 DDD Amnesty King Doom Machina. So, yeah, the attack and defense both 3000, pendulum scale of 10. So it says you can only use the card's name's pendulum effect once per turn. The first part of it is if you have a card in your other pendulum zone, you can target 1 pendulum monster you control, or in your graveyard, special summon the card in your other pendulum zone. If you do, place that target in your pendulum zone. Monster effect is going to have the materials of 2 level 10 fiend monsters. You can also exceed summon this card by using a DDD monster you control as material, transfers materials to this card. First part of it is you can only control 1 DDD Amnesty King Doom Machina in the monster zone. Once per chain, as a second part of the effect, when your opponent activates a monster card's effect on the field as a quick effect, you detach 2 materials from this card or destroy 1 dark contract you control. And if you do, attach that opponent's card to this card as material. That's a pretty cool. Considering you can only control 1, that's kind of a downside, but like, and you could just exceed by just throwing it on top of it, right? But using any DD monster as material. Okay, yeah. Interesting effect. Third part of the effect is once per turn during your standby phase, you can place this card in your pendulum. Okay, that's an optional effect too. Wow, okay, that's looking pretty nice. Next up, though, we have the Patented Dark Contract Documents, which is a field spell card. It says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. First part of it says, if your opponent special summons a monster or monsters of the same type, fusion, synchro, exceed, link as a DDD monster you control, you can inflict 1000 damage to them. Also, they cannot special summon monsters of the same type as the summoned monsters for the rest of the turn while this card is face up on the field. Okay. That's pretty good. The whole burn is like, it's like kind of nice, but they can't special in the same type. That can completely lock people out. DDDs are looking a lot better now. And then the second part is if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a DD monster from your graveyard or face up extra deck to your hand. Okay. Next up, we have the DDD Headhunt, which is a normal trap card that says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. First part is if you control a DDD monster, target 1 face up monster your opponent controls, take control of it until the end phase of the next turn, but its effects are negated. It cannot declare an attack. Also, if with special summon from the extra deck, it is treated as a DDD monster. Wow, okay, that's interesting because you can throw it right on top of them. So DDDs are actually looking a lot better. This is like actually like really good support. I haven't really seen that many people play DDDs, but usually people that play them, they know what they're doing, and it's like a pretty like solid deck. It just takes like half an hour for their turn to go off because it's a pendulum deck. But let me know, guys, down below in the comment section below what you think of this, and if there's any newer cards that do get announced like later down the line, and this is your first time here and you want to see the effects of it, hit subscribe, turn that bell, and you'll definitely see it ASAP, and I'll cover it. But let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one, and I'm out. Peace.